Hello everybody, it's Sandy Bacus here. It is Thursday, September 6th. Yeah, it's Thursday. I didn't do any clips all week. I guess I was reading too much. It's been a really hot, humid week. Today the temperature's a little cooler. It's very rainy and cloudy, but the humidity is still really high. So I do have my air conditioning running, not because it's really hot, it's only in the low 70s, but the humidity is like almost 90%. So I don't like humidity. If it was dry, excuse me, if it was dry and hot, I could probably handle it, but I don't like to sweat. I think that's probably why I don't like to exercise, because I don't like to sweat. So now that we've got that out of the way, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a great week and getting all your stitchy time in that you want. I did make some notes today so that I can try to get through everything without messing up too bad. I already did realize I forgot to pick something up over there on the other side of the room. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you here for just a second and go grab that and then come back. So 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. I hope that worked. I hope you didn't have to watch me get up and walk across the room and come back again. But I did want to grab a couple of books and tell you about those. So since I don't have those in my notes, I think I'll tell it. Boy, if I could talk, you know what? We'd be in business. But apparently I can't talk, so we'll just go from here. I had previously told you about a series of books by W. Michael Geer and Kathleen O'Neill Geer. And if you don't remember, they are archaeologists, paleontologists, and they write fiction books based on their archaeological and paleontology findings. And they did a whole series that was called People of the, and then they used a name. And this particular, and I have, I think, just about every single book that was in this series. And I think I've read them all once, and now I've decided to go back, because these books, these original ones, these are getting pretty old now. I think that the, let's see, this was copyrighted in 1990, so these books are getting kind of old now, but and you can't really, they may still be available on Amazon and in libraries and stuff, but they're not, you don't see them. You see some of the newer ones in the bookstores, but not these older ones anymore. But anyways, this one was People of the Wolf, and I reread this one, and it was just as good the second time as it was the first time. I really love these stories. I think that one of the reasons why I love these is because Indians in general, when you go back over time, they had a lot of special beliefs, not believes, but beliefs. And they told their stories down through generation after generation. They did not have a way to write these things down. And so they were retold. And they used what we would call hallucinogenics now, mushrooms and things like that back then, for healing and for what they called dreaming. They had a lot of what they called dreamers back then, and I just enjoy reading about all of that. So I did read this one, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. If there is anybody out there that's interested in these books, let me know. Maybe at some time we can work out something after I've gotten through a few more of them, because I don't think I'll read them a third time. Because I don't know if I'd live long enough. Let's see, 1990, that's almost 30 years ago. So and I'm almost 70. I don't think I'm going to live to be over 100. So I think I'm going to be ready to pass these along to someone else, and nobody in my family is really interested. So, okay. All right, another book that I'd gotten from the library, and this one is okay. I'm not going to get all excited about it. This was a new book. It was in the new book section. It's called The Only Story, a novel by Julian Barnes. Julian Barnes is a UK writer. So this story took place in England, and basically it is kind of a fictional memoir, okay, of when he was 19 years old. He started an affair with I believe she was like in her early 40s, a woman who was married. And it basically, now he's older and he's retelling this story from his perspective now as an older person. And it's okay. It lagged here and there, but it was an okay read. All right, now on to the next part. Okay, I want to thank all my new subscribers for joining, and for all my subscribers that have been here right along for coming back. I have picked up some new ones. I have been mentioned a couple of times in other people's videos, and I thank those people for that. Specifically today I was watching Stitchy Ray from the UK. I believe she's in Wales. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember. But you know, I keep telling you, this brain doesn't always hold everything it should anymore. But anyway, she mentioned me today, and so I'd like to thank her. And let's see. A new to me Stitcher that I watched was Whistle Stop Stitcher. And she is a quilter as well as a cross stitcher. And what I remember from her video is that she's participating in a lot of sales. So if you're really interested in seeing the work that's being done in the sales, then you might want to check out Whistle Stop Stitcher. And I will also put these people down below, if not put the links for them, because I think I finally figured out how to put those links in here. Okay, also this morning I happened to watch another FLOSSTUBER that had not done a video in quite a while, and oh my goodness, I was just so pleased to watch her video because her projects are so beautiful, and she stitches things that aren't quite the norm that everybody else is stitching. So that is Luby's Lot, and again, I believe she is a UK stitcher. And again, I'm not absolutely positively sure, but I think so. And she just showed some beautiful, beautiful projects. And since she was doing kind of a catch-up, she showed a lot of them. So if you want to see beautiful, beautiful projects that are not quite what everybody else is showing, go check out Luby's Lot. I think you'll agree that beautiful, beautiful projects. And I want to apologize for the lighting. It is very rainy outside. It's very cloudy. And so I have a light kind of off camera over here. And then I have the light on my desk in front of me on, and it's reflecting on my glasses. And it's driving me nuts as I'm looking in the camera. But without it, it would be dark. You wouldn't be able to see much. So bear with me, please. Okay, those are all the new Stitchers that I had time to watch. You know, I'm subscribed to so many people that every day I load into my watch later queue everybody who's put out something new that day. And when I'm done, I have anywhere from 20 to 25 videos, and that's more than I can watch in a day. So what happens is I watch, comment, take those off, put more on. I can't ever get caught up. but I don't want to miss anything either. So the other thing I wanted to say was, if you are watching me and you are doing videos and I haven't ever commented on a video, please let me know. Maybe just if you're doing videos too, just leave a comment and say I do videos too. And if I'm already subscribed to you, I will know that. And if not, I can add you on because I love to see what everybody else is doing too. All right, let's see. What's next? Purchases. DMC floss. I saw on Instagram where DMC is raising the price of their floss again, and that the lowest, I believe, if I remember correctly, it said that the lowest retail price that they will allow it to be sold at would be 56 cents a skein. Well, let me tell you, less than a year ago at the regional craft store that I go to a lot, it's called Pat Catan's. They don't have a whole heck of a lot of cross-stitch stuff, but they do have DMC floss. And they were selling it for 39 cents a skein. And when I heard what other people were paying, and I was paying 39 cents, I thought I was pretty lucky. Then when the last DMC price increase came through, they raised the price to 49 cents. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pay 49 cents a skein. You know, I know what some of you out of the US are paying, so pardon me for crying over 49 cents. But, you know, that was a 10 cents a skein increase for me. So what I did was, in fear of this new price increase, I went through a whole lot of my projects and figured out what I was going to need, and I went to the store and I bought a whole bunch of floss. I was hoping to get at least 50 skeins, but some of them, that's the one problem with this regional store. They don't have every single color. So you have to kind of go through and see what they've got. So there were some that I couldn't get, but I ended up getting over 40 skeins, and I was finally able to find some 310. I needed 310 for some of my projects, and black was sold out just about everywhere I went, probably because people were stocking up for their Halloween projects, but I finally was able to get some in 310, so I went ahead and bought several skeins of that. Also, Joann's has been having some really, really great sales, and I have the Joann app, and they send me text messages at least every other day telling me, you know, they have this coupon and that coupon. So most of the time I don't bother using them because I just don't need stuff. But remember I told you I was going to be making curtains for my family room? So they had some pretty good coupons, so I wanted to go and check out, and sales too, so I wanted to go and check out. Well, I found, and I'm not going to show it to you because I bought like 8 yards of material, so it's on a great big bolt, and it was the end of the bolt. And anyways, some beautiful material, and it was regularly $9.99. I got it for $6.99, and then I got an additional 20% off my entire order. So I thought I did pretty good there. And then while I was looking around, pardon me, got to reach over here. This particular, it's called Hudson Pure 43. This decor was 70% off. And so I found this, and you know, I don't care about this part, but this is very rustic looking wood, and it's got this little metal hook down here, and I just really liked the way this looked. And this was originally $19.99, so I got this for, was it $4.99, and then I believe I got the additional 20% off on that also. So what I intend to do, I don't usually do too many smalls, but I liked this so much, I thought that this would look really nice hanging somewhere in my house, maybe to put something on there light. So I am going to figure out what I want to put in this little space, stitch something to put in there, and then I will have that. So good deal, right? And also, I was just walking around and kind of looking at the yarn, as I do every so often, and they had this at Pat Catan's. This is the Vanna's Choice, and it was $3. And $3 to me was a pretty good price. So I bought 2 skeins of this. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it, but I love that color because I really like purple. So I'll figure it out. So that was my shopping, and I have pretty much decided I am going to try not to buy any more charts until after the first of the year. Famous last words, right? We all do that. But we'll see. Because when I was going through looking to see what floss I needed, oh my gosh, I found charts that I had forgotten I even bought. And that a year ago, I had hardly any. I had a bunch of magazines that had charts in them, but actual paper charts that you go out and buy, I just had a couple, and they were the ones I was working on. What went wrong? I know what went wrong. Watching FLOSSTUBE and everybody else and all their purchases, that's what went wrong. It's like you just get this need overtakes you, and it just says, go look at charts, see what you can buy, or go online and look to see what's out there. I know, it happens to all of us. So, I'm going to show you my whips. I'm still using that Decision Roulette, but what I have done is I have stopped spinning the wheel for how many days to work on a project. And the reason is that the last time that I spun, it came up Old Glory. This is not a chart I picked out myself. I won this in Nana's Needles. I think it was a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, along with another chart and a project bag and some other goodies that she had included. So this is not really my style of stitching, as you all know, but I thought it was beautiful and I thought I'd like to stitch it. So I had started it a while ago and it came up, and this is where I got to with it. But when I spun that wheel, it said 3 days, and there really wasn't any way I wanted to work on this for 3 whole days in a row. So I worked on it for 2 days, and I got down to where I am, and it is a beautiful, beautiful chart, and I believe that it's going to be a beautiful project when I'm done with it. And even if it isn't my normal type of stitching, I'm really enjoying it. It's just that there's a lot of blocks, you know, like red and then white. Oops, I'm holding it down here and then pointing at stuff. There's, you know, I am more of a, I love confetti. There, I've said it. I admitted it. I love confetti. Okay, the next thing I worked on was the quilt blocks for my daughter. And, well, I'll show you the whole thing. And then where I worked, because you know I only have 2 blocks to go, and so this is what I worked on here, was this block. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time on that one, but I did spend some time. So I am getting that completed. Okay, then the next time that I spun, it came up New Start. So then I went to my wheel where I have all my new starts in it, and it came up Route 66. So this is Route 66, and this was a chart that I had gotten. I believe I ordered this off 123 Stitch, and it was, I chose it because I thought that my husband would enjoy this. This would be something I could hang down in our family room. And So this is where I got to on Route 66. It really doesn't look like much of anything. I'm doing this on 14 count Aida in, let's see, buttermilk. And because this chart didn't have a defining upper left-hand corner, which is where I usually start, I started in the middle. And you really can't tell that it's anything at this point. This is a tire. That much I can tell you. So I won't hold that up there too long because there's really not a whole heck of a lot to see. And I worked on that for a couple of days. I also worked on the bluebirds, and that is this one, if I can get the glare out of there. And this is where I got to with that. The only thing that I have to do yet on this bird, all his back stitching, all his back stitching is done, except for back stitching the beak up here. So I have to do that, and then I have to do, oops, turn this around here the right way. I have to do the little butterfly. I hope that's not glaring too bad. So I have to do that little butterfly. And then this one is done. And then I'm going to make that into a pillow. And that is for my middle granddaughter, who her birthday is September 19th, and she is turning 18. So that's going to be one of her gifts. And then I spun that little decision roulette yesterday late in the day, and Quaker Diamonds popped up. So I pulled Quaker Diamonds out, and I worked on it just a little bit last night and a little bit this morning, and I will work on this one more before I put it away, and I'll show you the whole thing here is where I'm at. And basically this is pages 1, 2, and 3 across the top here, and this I had done the last time I had it out. This time, and I'm going to fold this down so I can kind of hold it up here better. This time what I did was right here. This was the bottom of page 1 and then into page 4. So I did all of this right here. And I love working on this. This is going to be absolutely beautiful, but what I did want to tell you about this is that I did not do this like a lot of other people have done it. I did not use the Valdani threads. I'm using a combination of Weeks and Gentle Arts that my LNS owner helped me use in place of the Valdani threads. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you about this was when I started up here, I was using the variegated threads the way you're supposed to. But since this is Aida, and even though it's hand-dyed Aida, it's still, you know, that center doesn't prick real well to use a pin stitch. By the time I got over into this part over here, I went back to the loop start. So from there on out, well, you can see I was still doing the variegated here. But when I got down into the other parts, the lower sections that I worked on, what I did was I switched over and I started folding the thread and using the loop start and using the thread more as a blended thread. I think it looks fine, and since it's for me, it'll be okay. But I did want to tell you, if mine looks a little different than everybody else's, that's why. Okay, now that's my whips. Oh, let's see, charts. The only chart from the September 5th, the ones that I was going to draw on September 5th, the only chart that had a request was the mother and father one. And this was requested by, and I think that I know how to pronounce your name right now, and I'm going to try this. I've been calling you Beatty. And at church on Sunday, I went up to my friend that was born in Germany, and I said, oh my goodness, I had a card I wanted to bring and have you translate it. And I said, also, I need you to help me to pronounce this name. She said she believes that it's pronounced Beata. So, Beata, I hope that's right, because since I've been calling you Beatty. Beata, you got this chart. And you have some other items here, and so do some other people. I have an envelope here ready to go out for, I'm not going to show her address, Nikki Kessler. I need to take it to the post office because I know it's going to cost more than just one stamp. And I have some other stuff here to send out. This past week or so with this really, really humid weather, I didn't get much of anything done. So, Beata, I think that I got to keep. My husband and I were going back and forth on the way to go to breakfast after church as to whether she said Beata or Beata. And we decided that she said Beata, and her name is Gundala. And so, even though my heritage is German, I don't know how to speak the language. So, I'll be getting these charts sent out to you. You have several of them coming. Okay, now new charts to show. Now that that was a long-winded thing. Okay, the first one that I have to show. And I'm almost out of charts that I have taken out of magazines, but I still have a whole big stack of magazines to go through. So I'm going to have to start doing that. All right, this one is called Spirited Saint Nick. And there's that one. And there is something else on here. Oh, these are just charts. There's one that says joy, happy holidays, and season's greetings with Santas on them, and those are on the back. So if you're interested in this one, please say that you would like to stitch Spirited Saint Nick. And as always, please do not say in your comments, do not say free, do not say giveaway. Don't use any kind of words that the trolls can Google in on or search in on. Not necessarily Google, but search. We want these charts to go to people that will stitch them, not try to sell them or something like that. I'll send them anywhere in the world. And just use whatever verbiage it is that I say so I can, try to keep these so I know which one you're requesting. The next one is called Peace on Earth. Thought about doing this one myself. And they did it as a pillow, and they stitched it on a real dark navy. And also, there's the picture of the pillow on the really dark navy. And also, there's the chart for this one here. So, those are actually, when I was showing you this, that is the chart. Shame on me. Well, I have the cross-stitch police coming down on me. Okay, the next one is called Gone Fishin'. And And we have more than one chart here. First of all, we have this one. And then on the, I'm trying to tell which one. I don't know, one of these is on here. The flowers with the vines. It's a cluster of violets. Oh, it may be the same thing, just done in two different directions. I don't know. Anyways, it's there. So, gone fishing. I want to stitch gone fishing. And then this is an early start to Mother's Day. And this one is called A Mother Is. And if you are interested in this one, just say you want to stitch Mother. And that's it for this week. And okay, what else do I have? I've had a lot of questions in the comments asking me about how my husband was doing, hoping he was doing better, and about our water coming into the family room. First of all, I want to clarify that it wasn't a real flood. I mean, the whole room didn't get wet. And furniture basically didn't get wet. It was, it came in underneath built-in cabinets and then kind of followed the floor is, how do I want to say this? The floor apparently is not totally level, probably from settling over the years. This house is getting kind of up there in years. It was built in around 1975 or 1976. So probably due to settling over the years, the floor is not totally level. So the water kind of followed the lay of the land, so to speak. And there was a lot of carpeting that got wet. Some of it where it was probably like a low spot, more water settled, but I mean, it wasn't like there was standing water in the room. We have had it that way in the past, but it wasn't that bad. So it was just, it was fairly, well, I don't want to say easy, because pushing that carpet, those carpet shampooers back and forth over the rug is not easy, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Let's put it that way. Everything is all back to normal now. The water's all gone. The cabinets are all put back together. Everything is clean and the way it should have been. And as far as my husband goes, his cuts and his scratches are healing. The only problem that he has is behind his calf on one leg is still, that muscle is awfully sore. But other than that, he's doing pretty good. He took another fall. He was going out the back door onto the porch, and there's, when you walk over, you know, a door jamb, and he tripped over that. And he's got to learn, he's got to pick his feet up. He tends to shuffle, which is Parkinson's. But he kind of tripped over that, and there's an area and then 2 steps up, and he kind of went forward, caught himself on those steps. So he didn't hurt himself. At least he told me he didn't hurt himself. Just keep watching. That's all I can do. I did, I think, tell you the tractor got sold, so it's gone. And if I didn't tell you, I'm telling you now. He did get a 4-wheeler. The 4-wheeler is easier for him to get on and off of, and it's a big 4-wheeler, so it's very sturdy. He can go up and down the hill without any trouble with that, and so I think we're in a better place as far as that. And it does have a plow on the front, so that he'll be able to use it to plow the driveway when we get snow this winter. Oh, God forbid, snow. Oh, let's not even think about that. I don't like the hot and the humid, but I don't like the snow either. One snow, look at it, it's pretty. Okay, we're done. Okay, other thing going on this week was, of course, Labor Day was Monday here in the U.S. And my granddaughter had sent me a text message the day before and said that her and a couple of her friends from college were planning on going to the lake the next day, and could they stop over in the afternoon? And so I said, sure, because I always love to see my granddaughter. So her girlfriend, one of her very best friends at college, has a car, luckily, and I believe she's from Michigan. And she has her own car, and so she is the official driver, everybody, everywhere. So Chrissy and my granddaughter Miranda and their friend Nick and their friend Jackson came up. They went to the lake, had a good time. A big storm came up. So by the time they came over here, we'd had a big storm roll through, lots of thunder and lightning and heavy rain, but it passed through fairly quickly. So they came and they sat and they visited, and they were worried because they had sand on their shoes and their feet and everything. And I said, I can always clean tomorrow. Today I can visit with you guys. The sand is fine. So we sat here and had a really, really nice talk. And I think I've told you before that my granddaughter is studying psychology, and she's in her senior year, and she is checking into grad schools, and it seems like she's probably going to go to Bowling Green State University, which is west in Bowling Green, Ohio. And she needs to get signed up to take some kind of a test that you have to pass before you can go on to grad school. And then after grad school, she actually plans to pursue a doctorate. So I'm assuming that at some point in there, she's going to get a job and start working so that she won't have quite so many student loans, because otherwise, if she just keeps trying to go on to school, she's going to owe so much money that she'll just be working to pay off student loans. Anyways, her friend Chrissy is studying dietetics, and her friend Nick is studying environmental science. And we had a discussion about what he thinks he would like to do after graduation. And he said that probably to start with, he'll get a job working with some kind of a company working on their environmental concerns. Basically, like their carbon footprint that they're leaving. But eventually, he says he would like to travel around the world and work on environmental things in that way. And I'm assuming that that means things like maybe like saving the rainforest, or saving some of these parts of the world that are being overtaken. The environment is just being wiped out. So then Jackson said that he is studying graphic design. So all very, very interesting stuff. I don't know if you guys find it interesting or not, but I did. And so I guess that's going to be my little story for today. You guys keep telling me that you really enjoy hearing the stories. So there's that. And I think that that is just about, I'm looking around to see, am I forgetting anything? And I don't think I am. Next week, well, actually today is Thursday, and I don't think that I'm going to add on to this video. I think I'll wait until tomorrow to upload it, but I think this is going to be it for this week. And I will keep Quaker Diamonds out though, and when I finish stitching on it, I will do a little clip before I put that away. And of course, remember that on September 12th, I will be pulling the names for the winners of the charts that I showed last week, and that includes the ribbon kits. So I guess that's that. So I'm going to leave you guys with saying have a good stitching week. I hope that everybody is safe and that everybody is well. And if you aren't, I send out my prayers to you. Oh, Olivia, I will mention really quickly, she went back in the hospital Labor Day, I believe it was. It was either Sunday or Monday. They had to take her to the ER again, and she was, they called it neuropenic, and I had no idea what it meant, so I looked it up, and basically it means that her white blood count was extremely low. And so, which is caused by the chemo and stuff. So, I haven't heard anything that she's out of the hospital yet. So please, if you're a praying person, send some prayers out for Olivia. And if you're not a praying person, just send some good vibes or some good thoughts out into the universe for her and her family. Deeply appreciated. And while I'm at it, I'll mention Lori. I haven't seen Lori in a while. She wanted me to go and do something, and it was just too hot and humid, so I declined. And I keep thinking I have to get a hold of her. We need to get together, maybe the 4 of us going out for lunch or supper or something. In fact, maybe I'll do that after this video is done. But anyways, best wishes to everybody. Happy stitching to everybody. You know my love is coming through this screen to you, and hugs out to everybody, especially those of you that really need them. So you take care, and I will see you next week. Bye.